Hi, my name is Millie Bobby Brown, and I'm going to give the world some advice.
As the whole world eagerly awaits the fourth season of Netflix original Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown has done something that might destroy the success of the entire show and her whole career along with it. We're not going to pretend that the 16-year-old actress has not survived terrible scandals and controversies before this, but what she did very recently was so bad that a lot of people are convinced this could be the issue that will end her career once and for all. In this video, we'll be taking a look at how this could be the end of Millie Bobby Brown. Okay, so in a nutshell, Millie Bobby Brown posted something that invited intense backlash from those supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. Millie Bobby Brown has been under fire for months now because people think the cast of Stranger Things are not utilizing their popularity enough to support causes like the Black Lives Matter campaign. Naturally, because their co-star Caleb McLaughlin is at the forefront of supporting calls to end racism, but he has received very little support from his castmates. Sure, Millie and the others have posted the occasional BLM poster on their Instagram accounts, but that's basically it. In fact, Millie has posted more TikToks and IG stories about her dogs, her plants, her sponsored outfits, and her problematic makeup routines than what she has with her efforts to help end systemic oppression against the Black community. With Millie having over 33 million followers on Instagram, it's no longer surprising why people are disappointed that she's not using her platform often enough to speak power into progressive causes. But that's not what the recent fuss is all about, though. She's just a 16-year-old after all, and we can't really expect her to exclusively talk about activism all the time. It's actually what she did to try and prove that she's one with the Black community that's been sparking all the outrage. In order to disapprove people who are accusing her of being racist just because she doesn't post enough BLM content, Millie Bobby Brown posted a story where she's seen holding hands with a Black friend. As if that's not enough to make people cringe, she even zoomed into their linked hands as if to say, "Look guys, I'm holding this Black person's hand. Now you can never ever accuse me of being racist. I mean, if I'm racist, I wouldn't even consider holding hands with a person of color." To be fair, Millie probably didn't mean for her gesture to rub people the wrong way. I mean, no one ever does that deliberately, right? She probably just thought it was a nice gesture of solidarity to let people know that she's one with the Black community. However, this is literally the worst time to be even a little bit insensitive about this issue. Celebrities are getting canceled left and right for not speaking up enough about racism, and not even the charismatic 11 is immune to the cancellation powers of some on Twitter. People were quick to tag Millie as an even bigger racist than before she posted the photo with her friend. She was immediately tagged as a clout chaser who didn't even flinch after using someone she claimed to care about as a token Black friend. Someone even said MBB posed with the other lady as if it were a pet. The hate is spreading like wildfire, and it's deeply concerning, given that Millie is already on thin ice after the multitude of controversies that she got herself involved in over the last few years. Just a week before the controversial Instagram story, Millie ruffled some feathers by posting a rather suggestive photo of herself wearing a dress and her deep blonde hair. Why some people would take offense to this photo? We might never know, but we'll try to understand where all the criticism is coming from. Looking at the comments section of her photo, it seems that people were keen to point out that Millie's outfit and even her makeup do not seem age-appropriate. The same people pouncing on JoJo Siwa for dressing like an oversized toddler despite the fact that she's already 17 are now saying Millie is trying to look more mature than she really is. One user wrote, "Why they continue to make her look older? She's still a little girl. Let her be a girl, she's not a woman yet." Another said, aren't you 16? Why they make you look like this?" A closer inspection of these seemingly angry and upset commenters would reveal that they're actually directing their anger not against Millie herself, but to whoever styled her for the photo shoot. As pointed out by another commenter, it's not Millie dressing this way herself that's the problem, it's the fact that creepy adults are setting her up like this in photo shoots despite the fact that she's 16 and underage. Shaming Millie is not my intentions, but the fact adults are green-lighting this makes my stomach churn. Still, even though these comments are not promoting anger and distaste towards Millie, it's leaving negative vibes all over her page, and it's just not looking good for the young actress. These two blunders might seem miniature for some people, but if you take into account all her previous slip-ups, you could see how it would be difficult for Millie to bounce back after all this. Let's take a look at the controversies that Millie Bobby Brown has gotten herself in ever since she was cast to play 11. There was the time she totally blew off Audrey Hope, a budding actress who played a minor role in Stranger Things. The girl regarded Millie as her hero, so Audrey was pretty excited when she got invited to her premiere night for the series, and she thought it would be a good time to spend a bit of quality time with Eleven, the superstar. However, everyone was so busy that night that Audrey only ever got the opportunity to take a quick picture with her hero. She was courteous enough to ask Brown if it was okay to take a photo by the end of the event. It would have taken less than 5 seconds, but Millie took twice as long to plot her escape. Nobody knows why she wouldn't want to take a photo with someone she was working with, but apparently Millie thought she was too good for such things. According to Audrey, Millie just stared at her and started to walk away, but not before she promised she would return and find Audrey later and give her a photo. Of course, Audrey could not keep her eyes off her hero for the rest of the night, but this only served to hurt her, because she saw Millie pretending to be busy and snatching glances at her every now and then as if to check whether or not she had given up on her quest for a picture yet. It was a social event, so Audrey had to talk to her friends and her mom at some point, and so she lost track of where Millie was. The actress took the opportunity to duck out, never making good on her promise to return and take photos with the young girl who idolized her. Then there was the time she humiliated David Harbour in front of hundreds of Stranger Things fans. During a panel interview at Comic-Con, Chief Hopper was asked what he thought about the young actress. We all know Harbour could never drop a mean line about anyone, so he went on to sing praises about his colleague, talking about how Millie deserves the fame and adoration of all her young fans. Now, before Chief Hopper could finish his train of thought, he was completely cut off by the very person he was talking up. Harbour seemed taken aback by the fact that the audience were full-on laughing about something when he was being very serious and not at all joking around. He quickly realized that the people were not laughing at him, they were laughing at Millie Bobby Brown, who interrupted his speech by making faces. It's hard to blame people for thinking Brown's actions were uncalled for. After all, Harbour was giving her all the credit for the show's success, so she didn't really need to try so hard to redirect everyone's attention back to her. Now, if you love watching interviews with the cast of Stranger Things, then you might have noticed that this was not the first time Millie Bobby Brown tried to steal someone's thunder when it wasn't even her turn to speak. The best and most cringeworthy example of this was when the cast had to receive their Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards for the favorite TV show 2 years ago. Millie, Caleb, and Sadie all went up on stage to receive the award and thank their supporters. Caleb accepted the award and went up to the microphone to speak first, greeting the fans and expressing gratitude for all the cast and crew that made Stranger Things into the phenomenon that it is now. Sadie spoke next, taking the time to thank the parents of the show's entire cast for their understanding and support to all of them. Finally, it was Millie's time to speak. Caleb, who was standing in the middle of the podium, was already trying to move out of the way to leave the floor for Millie, but she could just not wait for her friend to gracefully exit the podium. She hastily spoke into the microphone, thanking the show's audience and her fans for the undying support, but because of her actions, Caleb stumbled in front of the entire crowd. Sadie had to check up on him to make sure he was okay, but Millie didn't even notice what happened. She was too preoccupied with her own little speech that she couldn't even spare a minute to check up on her castmates who were up there on the stage with her. What about that whole messy flat earther situation in which Millie Bobby Brown once confessed that she believed in conspiracy videos and alternative evidence that supposedly proved that the earth was flat?
Did you know? Oh no, I'm not even going to say it because I'm probably going to be shut down on Instagram or something.
Now that you're all caught up on Millie's biggest blunders, what do you think of the recent accusations against her? Do you think everyone's just blowing things out of proportion? Or is the racism issue just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to MBB's problematic personality? We're certainly not one to judge, since nobody's perfect, but we can't say the same for woke Twitter accounts which are now abuzz with haters and detractors saying Millie Bobby Brown is definitely canceled this time after she made use of a token black friend just to prove a point. We all know Millie Bobby Brown is a great young actress who has a lot of potential, but she might just lose the chance to show us everything she's got if she completely loses the support and confidence of her fans. Celebrities are only as good as their fans perceive them. So if MBB doesn't get her act straight, then her latest blunder might just be the end for her. Anyway, that wraps up the video. Thanks for watching.